Okay, this is our regular meeting for the month of August. We'll have a roll call, please.
Rick?
Here.
Joe?
Here.
Mary Jane?
Here.
Frank?
Here.
Nick?
Here.
Lisa?
Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from July meeting? Is there any questions or additions? If not, I can make a motion to accept.
Second.
Roll call.
Who was second? Nick?
Here. Yes.
Frank? On the minutes?
What?
Approved minutes?
Yes. Sorry.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Is there any questions on the warrants and payroll timesheets? If not, I need a motion to approve. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Joe?
Yes.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Frank?
Yes.
And Nick?
Yes.
I need approval to transfer police revenue from general fund to police fund.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Nick?
Yes.
Frank?
Yes.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. I need a motion to approve the police fund monthly operating transfer. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Frank?
Yes.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Need a motion to approve the interest transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Frank?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Susan Skips isn't here to unite. She left me a note, which is OPWC application for Cherry Street. Scoring meeting is Tuesday, August 14th at 7 p.m. in the engineer's office.
She said it is optional.
Tuesday, 7 o'clock.
Since we're not really up for funding, it's optional. She said we don't really have to.
We're just staying in the pipeline on that anyway.
Okay.
It's always nice like if you're in there, if somebody can do that, would be great. It's always nice to be there and look at it.
Committee reports. Safety. Chief.
The police department handled 165 calls for service in July. We took 31 reports, made 7 arrests, issued 19 citations, 12 warnings, and impounded 2 vehicles. That's all I got. If it's okay with you, Mayor, I'd like to turn the floor over to Chief Simpson from the fire department.
Absolutely. Chief, the floor is yours.
We'd like to make a couple of presentations here tonight. First, starting off, I'd like to let everyone know that through Reed Hospital, Northwest Fire and EMS was able to obtain some automated external defibrillators to place on our fire apparatus. These units were free of charge from Reed Hospital, and those units have been placed on our apparatus. The police department already has an AED unit for their cruisers. So once we received our units, we scheduled a training within our department, invited the police officers up for that training, just to make sure that all of our personnel, along with the police officers, had the training for the proper use of the units, place of the pads on the patients, and that all of our first responders were trained in the same manner. Not long after that training, our EMS unit was called up on North Street here in the village for a difficulty breathing with a patient. Sergeant Jeremy Schroeder was on duty when we got that call. First responded prior to EMS units arriving. When he entered the residence, noticed that the patient was in sudden cardiac arrest. He then obtained his AED unit from the cruiser and began care on the patient. So we have a certificate we would like to present to Sergeant Schroeder for recognition of duty under stress and a life-saving effort.
Very good.
Our second presentation for tonight On Saturday, July 7th, our departments were called out to a motor vehicle accident on I-70. It was a rollover accident with one patient trapped inside the vehicle. Officer Gillen was on duty that day. First responded out ahead of our units. He arrived just before I did on scene. Immediately started patient care on the patient that was trapped inside the vehicle. The patient had a severe head injury, extreme blood loss at the time. Officer Gillen provided care to that patient until our EMS units arrived, and also kept up with the care while our fire units extricated that patient from the vehicle. The patient was flown to Miami Valley for a care flight, and because of the duty that Officer Gillen gave to that patient, he will most likely survive his injuries. So what we would like to do is present a certificate to Officer Gillen in recognition of exceptional duty above and beyond normal assignment in assisting the Northwest Fire and Ambulance personnel. Steve? These officers provide a valuable service on first responding ahead of our units. Many times they've been on calls and assisted our units, not only EMS units, but fire units with accidents, fire scenes, controlling traffic and everything, and it is greatly appreciated by Chief Driver and his personnel to help us out when it's needed. So I'd like to thank Chief Driver and all his personnel for their assistance.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chief. Anybody have any questions for Chief Driver or anybody? No? Thanks, guys. Good job. Building? Nothing. Streets, crew?
We did a little repair up here on Maple and Cherry. We went ahead with it, but I'm going to need approval from council. It's probably going to be somewhere around the $2,500 neighborhood time we're all setting down and blacktop and everything. But we had a flood issue there into Charlie Dome's house, and I think we alleviated that problem here last week. So I need approval to continue the process there on that. Other than that, I don't have much on the streets.
I make a motion that we approve the $2,500 for the street repair at Maple.
My second.
Roll call.
Mary Jane?
Yes.
Frank?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
And Nick?
Yes.
Lights? Anything on lights? Finance? Okay. Sanitation, Mary Jane?
Oh, I have a bunch. I have turned in 11 houses to the health district. I've gotten some reports back on a few, but not all of them yet. 21 compliance letters have been sent out so far in the past month. 3 have appealed. 2 of those have been settled. 8 properties have been turned in for the demolition Moving Ohio Forward grant. And I've been working with ODOT trying to get land transferred from 119 North Washington Street, which we call the State House. They want to turn that property over to the village, and hopefully we can get it torn down. I'm hoping with the grant money to make a parking lot for the library. Also, we had found a problem this week at 119 North Washington Street. A lady came in and said that she'd been being billed for some maintenance, and come to find out that the auditors have made a mistake in the addresses on their website, which we use quite often. And so we owe Kim Morrow $157.50 $150 was charged to what was said was 117, which we thought was a state house address, and it wasn't. The address change has been made, and we need to pay back $157.50. $750 of it is what the court charges when you assess a property. So hopefully we can get that paid and get that mistake taken care of, which it wouldn't have happened if the address were right at the auditor's office, but that's been taken care of now. So I need permission from council if they want to transfer this land from ODOT to the village. And I have to show that everyone's approved it, and that'll get the transfer started.
I'll make the motion to transfer from ODOT to New Paris the property of 119 North Washington.
Yes.
Is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Rick,
Yes.
Mary Jane,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
and Nick.
Yes.
Also, I have some ordinances that we need to declare these properties that I have as a public nuisance, which all of them are, that I have turned in to the health department. And I have 11 of them. They run from, it's ordinances 2012-8 to 2012-18. I want to read the first one, and then we can just approve all of these ordinances without reading all of them. They're all the same. It's an ordinance to declare them a public nuisance. I'll start with ordinance number 2012-08, an ordinance declaring the property located at 301 West Main Street, Ohio, a public nuisance and declaring an emergency and waiving the 3 reading rules. Whereas the Village of New Paris is charged with the duty of protecting the health, safety, and general welfare of the village residents. Whereas the Village of New Paris enacted an interior property maintenance code for the purpose of protecting the health, safety, and general welfare of the village residents. Whereas the Village of New Paris has notified the property owners of property located at 301 West Main Street, and the conditions of the property is treated to the health or threat of health, safety, and general welfare of the village residents. Whereas the council of the Village of New Paris desires to declare said premises to be a nuisance. Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the Village of New Paris, Preble County, Ohio, Section 1, that the property located at 301 West Main Street be declared a public nuisance. Section 2, that the Village of New Paris Sanitation and Zoning Enforcement Officers shall enter the property located at 301 West Main to abate the nuisance. Section 3, that the Village of New Paris Sanitation and Zoning Enforcement Officers shall present to the council a statement of the cost incurred in abating the nuisance after the premises is secured. Section 4, that this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the health, safety, and general welfare of the citizens of the Village of New Paris by reason of the fact that this ordinance will provide essential services to the residents of the village and will aid in the orderly admission of the affairs of the village and shall go into effect immediately upon this passage. These ordinances are going to help us with the grant, some part of applying for the grants. The other ordinance is 2012-09, 204 Whitewater Avenue. Ordinance 2012-10, for 407 East Cherry Street. 2012-11, 203 East Cherry Street. 2012-12, 138 North Washington Street. 2012-13, 206, 208, which is double on South Washington Street. Ordinance 2012-14, 307 Copeland Street. 2012-15, 119 North Washington Street. 2012-16, 136.5 North Washington. 2012-17, 208 North Washington. 2012-18 at 117.5 North Washington. So I need a motion to declare these properties a public nuisance.
I so declare. Is there a second on the motion?
I second.
Is there a roll call?
Frank,
Yes.
Mary Jane,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
and Joe.
Yes.
Make a motion that we pass this as an emergency.
You got to accept the ordinance first. Make a motion to accept the ordinances.
Make a motion to accept the ordinances, just 2000 through 2018.
2008, 2018.
2018,
Yeah.
and to pass the three reading rule.
Waive the three reading rule and
Pass it first.
I second that.
I think that's all.
Roll call. I need a roll call.
Nick,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. That's it.
Planning. I've got another BPA. Yeah. Next is resolution order to be the third reading of the Income Tax Ordinance 2012-07. I need permission from the council to read this by
Title only.
title only. Yeah.
I move to permission to give. I'll second.
Roll call.
That was Frank and Joe.
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
and Frank.
Yes.
All right, Village of New Paris Income Tax Ordinance Number 2012-07, levying a tax to provide funds for the purpose of general municipal operation, maintenance of equipment, extension, enlargement, and improvement of municipal services and facilities, and capital improvements on all salaries, qualifying wages, commissions, and other compensations earned or received by residents of the Village of New Paris, and all salaries, qualifying wages, commissions, and other compensation earned or received by non-residents of the Village of New Paris for work done or service performed or rendered in the Village of New Paris on the net profits earned on all businesses, professions, and other activities conducted by residents of the Village of New Paris, on the net profits earned on all businesses, professions, and other activities conducted in the Village of New Paris by non-residents, and on the net profits earned by all corporations doing business in the Village of New Paris as a result of work done or services performed or rendered in the Village of New Paris, requiring the filing of returns and furnishing of information by the employers and all those subject to said tax, imposing on employers the duty of collecting the tax at the source and paying the same to the Village of New Paris, providing for the administration, collection, and enforcement of said tax, declaring violation thereof to be a misdemeanor and imposing penalties therefore be ordained by the council, Village of New Paris. I need a motion to accept ordinance 2012-07.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Nick,
Yes.
Frank, Mary Jane.
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
and Joe.
Yes. Okay. Old business, I have none.
I have something
You
under
got
old
something that you want
business.
to talk about?
I met with the chamber last week, and they signed the contract to where they could start getting their 1.5% tax money for the lodging excise tax, which they are named the Chamber of Commerce for the Convention and Visitors Bureau. So that's all been taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
they'll start getting their money around September or October.
Okay. Next meeting will be, on new business.
You got, what?
Yeah, new business, yeah. I have one question. This regards the culvert between the mobile home park that I reside in and the quarry, Natural Springs. It is becoming a risk, it's becoming a safety hazard. Who do we go to get that cleaned up? I'm sorry.
The owner of the trailer park.
Is that the trailer park's property?
I believe it is.
According to them, it's not. According to,
And
There we go
the
again.
natural spring says it's not theirs, right?
right. It's no man's land. Nobody owns it.
Somebody had to build it.
Well, Mr. Cripps built all that, so.
Well, no, they put in a new bridge.
Both entities down there is privately owned.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, can we find out which one of these entities owns that and who is responsible for cleaning it up?
Have to go to the courthouse, the recorder's office, or the tax map department.
So I would recommend, both owners of that have said, no, that's his, you know.
Somebody owns it.
And it needs to be settled because like I said, it's becoming a pronounced issue down there. So I guess I would recommend.
Is it the erosion the issue, or what's the issue?
Apparently there are trees that are falling through into the trailer park. There are some things falling out into the road that Natural Springs has been cleaning up. There are some safety hazards down there. I have not personally witnessed any of them, but
All right, Mary and James write a tax map for the recorder's office. Just want a map, figure it out.
That would be
All
civil,
of you go
that'd be a
together.
civil matter between the two
Right.
entities, and they have nothing to do with us.
All of you go together and
this
get
is
an
not
attorney.
public, this is not public land.
It's two
No.
private parties.
It's all private.
That's a civil matter between the two entities.
Okay, it is all private land, it doesn't belong to New Paris?
No.
We're clear on it?
We're clear.
That's all I wanted to make certain. Next meeting
I think we talked about that.
will be on
September the, oh my God, 5th.
on a Wednesday because of the holiday. Okay?
Mayor, I got one question. Could I ask you?
Go ahead.
I was advised to find out if you legally can bring that 1% back in the time frame that you're doing it, so,
Yes, you can.
okay.
Yes, we can. We checked with our attorneys in Ohio Rice Code and so forth, and yes, we can.
Okay, well, that's.
Matter of fact, there's no time limit on it.
Is there?
No.
I didn't know.
No.
But I was advised that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No, yes,
The meeting is September, Wednesday the 5th?
Wednesday the 5th. With nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? Roll call.
Frank,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Mary Jane,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
and Joe.
Yes.